Hello, my name is Dan, and this is going to be a walkthrough of Project 7 for CIS 191 at Cabrillo College with Mike Matera. In this lab, we will create and manage user accounts and practice common services required to administer users on a Unix Linux computer, including those activities right there. As a side note, I'm going to go ahead and do this lab in a container as opposed to a VM. I've recently been messing around with containers, so I want to do it there so that I can create all these users in container and not alter my main system. So I'm going to use the template of download, and I'm going to call it Project 7. And it's going to set up. A container is basically a virtual machine. Well, sort of, in a layman's sense. I don't understand too much about it. There is no hardware virtualization. I want to use Ubuntu, Zesty, AMD 64. There is no hardware virtualization, but it does. You can install a full working system. So what I did just there is there's a template called downloads that allows you to download basically a operating system, I guess, of all those different varieties of distributions, and then within LXC, and then create a container based off of that. So I created a container, Project 7. That is going to contain a system, Ubuntu Zesty, with AMD 64 architecture. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to LXC start name Project 7, and then I'm going to get a shell inside of it. I think it's attach Project 7. Okay, so now I'm root inside of Project 7. So if I go, I have a totally different home directory. Let's see, ls dev, and I don't entirely know how a lot of this stuff works, but I do know that I have a private IP. I set it up to have a private IP address, a NATed IP address within my little internal network here. So I do have internet access on this system, and then also it's running as an unprivileged, I believe it's running as an unprivileged container, meaning that within my overall system it is not running as root, and so there's a limit to what it can do, and the way it does that is you configure the container file, or the container configuration file, to map the UIDs and GIDs inside this container to higher level UID and GIDs in the I don't know what you would call it, native install. So anyways, and I don't have man page in here, so I'm going to pull up a different terminal here. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to add 4 new groups for your computer with the following GIDs, and this guy. So man, add group, options, GID, and group name. Okay, so I'm root, add group, GID 1600, and that's called Hobbits. Adding group, add group GID 1700. And that is elves. Add group 1800. That's dwarves. And add group 1900, and that's wizards. Okay, so 4 groups are added. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to create user accounts, 5 new user accounts using the following names and values. And then underneath that here, it specifies what the password should be, and then it says do not create private groups without taking the following considerations: home directory to be named Schmiegel, and so on and so forth. So we're going to start with the first one. So we're going to add, let's see the man page for add user again, just to be sure. Let me get rid of that guy. Add user. So we go add user home. So we're going to go default for, well, so let's go add user. So add user. No create home UID. So UID is going to be 1201, and then throw in private group of 1201. So, and the default is to do that. So I'm just going to leave it as default, and then the full name is going to be CIS 191. CIS 191 is the username, and then it's going to ask for a password, and we're going to go to that. So full name, it specifies, should be CIS 191, room number blank, work phone blank, home phone blank, other blank. Yes, okay. So if we look there, home directory is default under home in Ubuntu, and do password, and see if you see it specified, the group should be private group of 1201, and so that does that automatically as a default behavior in Ubuntu. So boom, CIS 191 is done. So now we're going to add user for Frodo. UID is going to be 1601. No special requirements for Frodo. So pull this one up again. How do we specify the group that it belongs to? So in group 1600, and he is called Frodo. Oh, in the group 1600 does not exist. Did I not just create 1600? In group hobbits. Boom. Okay. So I guess you can't specify GID there. So password. Full name is Frodo Baggins. All that is correct. Okay. So there's Frodo. Next one is Gollum, and it says Gollum wants his home directory to be named Schmeagol. So we'll go back that up, add user, UID for Gollum is 1602. GID is going to be 1600 as well, because of course he is a hobbit. So in group hobbits, get rid of that. We want his home directory to be named Schmeagol, so we'll go home is home Schmeagol, and then his name is Gollum, or that's his username. Boom. Password. Full name is Schmeagol. Oh. Boom. Okay. So there's Schmeagol. Or Gollum, I should say. So next one is going to be Legolas with a UID of 1701. And he's going to be in group 1700, which is elves, I believe. Yeah. Elves. Home is going to be the default. I did not mean to do that. That was supposed to be the delete key. So in group elves with UID, Legolas wants his shell to be TCASH. So we're going to specify shell TCSH and 1701 in elves with shell TCH and TCSH, and his name is Legolas. Invalid shell TCSH. Over here, he wants his shell to be TCSH. Now, when I did this originally on my system at work, it did not return an error right there. But then when I went to log into Legolas, it's a TCSH not found. So I'm just gonna make a bash, but you would put TCSH right there to specify shell. Oh, Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was invalid shell. Oh, that's why. Because it's not that. It's bin tcsh. Let's try that. Boom. Okay. So you got to specify absolute path to the shell. But still, I don't think tcsh is installed. So he is Legolas of Mirkwood. Boom, boom. Okay, so Legolas is in there. And now Gimli. Okay, so add user of 1801 in group dwarves. Shell doesn't matter. It's just going to be the default of bin. He is going to be Gimli, son of Gloim. Oh, Gloin, sorry. Only one or two names. Oh, that's his full name. Jeez. Okay. Dwarves, and he is Gimli. Now, Gimli, son of Gloin. Boom. Okay. Oh, and then he does not want to have a password. If you can grant this wish, do so. I'm trying to remember how I did this before. I think what it is you go... What is it? Let's take a look over here. Man, password. I think it's -D to get rid of the password. -D, delete. Delete a user's password, make it empty. This is a quick way to disable a password for an account. It will set the named account password list. So I think it's the -D. So I'm going to go password -D. And that is going to be for Gimli. Okay. So I think that's it. So now I'm going to SU into, let's try Gollum. So now I'm Gollum on project 7. And I have my, let's see, I'm in root and yada yada yada. So now I'm going to try, I don't know if it's going to let me test this password by suing into, well, let's try so into Frodo. Must be run from a terminal. Well, not exactly sure what's going on, but I'm pretty sure that the -D clears out the password. So that's that. Resetting a forgotten password. Frodo forgot his password. You must reset it to Baggins and force him to change it the next time he logs in. So let's look over here. I think it's CHAGE is what we want. Let's take a look. Change user password expiry information. So, I don't know if that's it. Let's try man password. So -E to immediately expire an account's password, and then let's go -E says, and this in effect can force user to change her password at user's next login, which is I think what we want. Let's take a look again. You must reset it to Baggins and force him to change it the next time he logs in. So we'll go password -E Frodo. Okay, information has changed. Boom. Now we'll go modifying user's name and identity. Change Frodo's GID to the user's group, but make sure he retains his membership in the Hobbit group. So this is going to be a user mod, I think. So I want to change Frodo's GID to be the user's group, but make sure he retains his membership in the Hobbits group. I think users was 1,000 on the systems that we were doing, so I'm just going to add group really quick. GID 1000, and it's going to be users. Oh, already exists. Maybe that's a default in Ubuntu. So that's fine. Okay, to users group, but make sure he retains his membership in the Hobbit group. Okay, so what we want to do is change his actual group to users, and then we're going to append a group with the -A, so -A capital G to Hobbit group. So GID. Okay, so we'll go user mod -G users. And that is Frodo. And then Etsy password. Grab Frodo. Boom. So now we see that. Oh, I guess it's 100. So Frodo is now in the group. That's his group ID is 100. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use user mod again, and it's going to be -A capital G, and that's going to be Hobbits. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. So Frodo is in Hobbits. User. Don't know if that was correct. Let's see. Grab Frodo. Etsy password says Frodo is in 100, but he's not listed under the users in Etsy group. Users, I don't see Frodo there, but I do see Frodo in Hobbits. I don't see any of them in there, so maybe I'm doing it wrong. Let's try grep Gimli. Well, it says he belongs to that group. I'm confused, but according to Etsy password, Gimli is in group 1800. So let's look back at the slides here. Somewhere it says anatomy of Etsy password, user ID, group ID. So, I mean, that's what it is in, so maybe there's a disparity in between what's in Etsy password and Etsy group, or the primary group isn't reflected in Etsy groups. But at any rate, according to Etsy password, we have done what we need to do. And that's what's important, so clear that out. So Frodo's GID is to the users group, but make sure he retains his membership to the Hobbit group. That is done. Legolas wants his username changed to Glorfindel. So we'll go over to here. Home, expire date, GID, groups, login, new login. The name of the user will be changed from login to new login. So we'll go, nope, user mod, and Legolas wants his username changed to Glorfindel, so -L, Glorfindel, and that is Legolas. Boom. Okay. So then we'll go Etsy password, Legolas is now Glorfindel. Okay, so that's done. Gimli needs his UID changed to 1800. Make certain that he can still log in and access create files. Okay, so back to user mod. It's going to be probably -u, right? I would imagine -u, the new numeric value of the, yeah, okay. So user mod -u 1800, and that is going to be Gimli. Boom. So now if we grep Gimli, 1800 is the same UID as his group, and we'll go sudo into Gimli ls cd home ls pwd touch 1 2 3 4 5. Boom, you can create files. Okay, so that's that. Locking an account. Glorfindel, aka Legolas, has been engaged in suspicious activity. You must lock his account. And that is probably still in user mod. Login, lock, -capital L. Lock a user's account. This puts a bang in front of the encrypted password, effectively disabling the password. You can use this option with -p or -u. If you wish to lock the account, not only access with a password. Okay, so we'll go user mod and Glorfindel -L to Glorfindel. Let's see, shadow. Glorfindel. And right there is the shebang I was talking about, or the bang I was talking about. So clear, boom, okay. Customizing login environment, edit the Etsy issue file so that the first line says Middle Earth Linux 1.0. So I don't got Vim on here, I don't think. So we'll go nano Etsy issue. Nano not found either, so let's go apt get install Vim. Oh, it's already installed. Sweet. So Vim Etsy issue. Ubuntu Zesty Zappos development branch. First line says Middle Earth Linux 1.0. Write that out and quit. Can't write. Oh. Interesting. I wonder why that was seeing mine. CD. Let's see. I just don't know enough about these containers. Vim issue. So maybe it did it in this container because it's in there. Let me pull up this guy. Cat Etsy issue. Totally different. So I'm not really sure what that warning was. But anyways, not really apropos to what we're doing here. Okay, so we'll edit the Etsy MOTD file to include an announcement that this class is CIS 191B and all activity in this computer is closely monitored. So we'll go Vim, and I'm already in Etsy, so MOTD, insert. This class is CIS 191-8B. All activity. This system is closely monitored. Boom. Boom. Okay, again, ignore that because we know that it wrote through. And then it says 3, Gimli is confused by all the messages that come on the screen when he logs in. Configure his account so that no messages are displayed on the screen when he logs in. And I think it's let's see, Ubuntu quiet login. I think it's like a hidden file in quiet user login. I think it's a oh, I help if I read the directions. Search for hush login using Google. Ubuntu hush login, and I think it's just a hidden file in the home directory. Oh yeah. I don't want to use the .hush login, so it's the .hush login. Okay, so we're gonna go to touch hush login and who. Oh, that is home. Who wanted it? It was Gimli. Okay, so that should do it. And then Gollum has passed away. His account must be removed. However, do not remove his home directory until you archive it to the var preserve directory and name it gollum.tar. Oh, my tar is weak. Let's see. CD Smeagol ls. So touch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we go tar. I think it's create, force, and zip. And then I can never remember if it's name or directory next. I think it's name. Tar. Create, force, zip. Examples. So it's name first. I'm going name it gollum.tar, and then it's going to be everything in this directory. There's gollum.tar, and then we're going to, just for the heck of it, tar. What is it? Not remember what it is to look inside of it. Quit. Boom. It is list tar t $tar. Oh, it always wants the F option. So boom, everything that we want. Okay, so then we're going to move gollum-tar to var preserve. dir var preserve. And then we're going to move to var preserve. Okay, so there's that. And turn and run the program glab6 until you're satisfied with the results. So wget http /cs21/6. Oh, don't have wget. Git install. So it seems like these containers are pretty bare minimum installations, which is fine. I mean, it's a working directory. I mean, file system. So boom, we got it. And ls glab6. So glab6. Oh, permission denied. Oh. Chmod 777. Oh no. I always forget I can just do that. Glab 6. Ah. It'd help if I could type. There we go. And now, boom. Okay. I made 4 out of the 4 groups successfully. CIS 191 is not in the wizards group. You created 4 out of 4 accounts successfully. You have reset Frodo's password and forced a change on the next login. All user modifications are correct. You have locked Glorfindel's account. Gimli's login is not properly hushed. You have not deleted Gollum's account. I forgot to delete Gollum's account. Okay. So we'll go man user mod append comment expire and groups lock login shell root password unlock. Let's see, what does he have to say? Should be in user mod somewhere to delete him. Oh no, it's user del. User del. CD root. User del. What is it? Column. Okay. To rm-rf home Smiggle. Okay, now let's try crap, I deleted glab 6. Boom. Okay. I gotta do that all over again. Chmod plus x glab 6. Okay, and then I want to glab 6. 18. Okay, so that's one better. Congratulations. Gimli's login is not properly hushed, so we'll go to Gimli ls-l. Oh, I must have put it in the wrong. Touch dash hush login. Boom. Okay. So now oh, still not properly hushed. What am I doing wrong? Hush login. How do you turn off login banner for non-interactive? Interesting. Usually it was a lot easier to find before. I thought it was just hush login. ls home Gimli. Oh. What am I not doing? Why isn't it? Touch. Ugh. Oh, doing long listing. I'm not doing. There it is. Dash hush login. Oh, sorry, it's early in the day. So I don't know if that worked. 18 out of 20. Gimli's login is not properly hushed. So no, it's not. Ask how do I disable the. Okay, let's go right to the source. Touch dot hush login. Well, that's certainly what I'm doing. So maybe there's a problem in Mike's script, but there certainly is a .hush login. Once again, I'll check ls-la and home with Gimli, dwarves, boom, right there. .hush login. Let's see if it's empty. It's empty. Okay, so that should work. Mike's script is just not picking it up, I guess. And again, I'm not on the system that it was designed for. So, and then there was one other thing. This is CIS 91 is not in the wizards group. I don't recall that we were supposed to do that. CIS 191. Oh, add this account to the wizards group. Missed that part. So we'll go user mod. Well, dash A dash big G users, and that was CIS 191. Okay, now let's run it again. Oh, supposed to be help if I read directions. Wizards. Boom. And there it is. 19 out of 20. That's really 20 out of 20 because hush login is the way that I did it before. So that's it. Okay. So now we've properly configured, per the instructions, all of those various things. I don't know how to check the efficacy of the, actually, I would have to set up an SSH server and SSH into this system, but I'm running out of time. So I'm fairly certain that's all correct. I did check what I could in Etsy password as I went, and Etsy groups. So I'm going to call it good. So I'm going to exit out of the container, and now I'm back here in my system, and now I'm going to lxc stop dash project 7, and it stopped it, and now I'm going to destroy it, and I destroyed the container. So that's containers, and that's also working with users and groups on Ubuntu. I am Dan. Thanks again for watching, and as always, if you'd like to subscribe or give me some feedback, I really would appreciate it. Thank you very much.